Have audio. So this is our dispatch and lease on information. Blood on the highway, illegal drivers, broken system, American families paying the price. All right. Thank you to our veterans and first responders for all they do and all they continue to do for this country. We would not be the country we are without them. All right, fuel prices. We did get some data in. 371.8 per gallon is the national average. That's up 9 cents a gallon from a week ago. But I will tell you, I don't know that it's up 9 cents a gallon more than it's, up 9 cents since the last time they put it out. All right, news. The CVSA releases the Brake Safety Week results. Everybody knows that I am all over the brake safety check. We announce it for about 2 months before it comes on. Now, 84.9% of the drivers out there had no brake violations that would deem them unsafe to proceed on their route. However, and this is your scary part, 15.1% of the vehicles stopped, that's 2,296 vehicles, were placed out of service just for brake-related violation. 15.1% out of service rate on the total number of vehicles inspected. That's alarming. Very alarming. The FMCSA, you know this. This is actually not new news. This is just leading into what we're doing tonight. So I'm placing it again. But has now issued emergency rule restricting non-domicile CDLs, basically non-U.S. citizen CDLs. Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration issued an emergency final rule that immediately and significantly restricts eligibility of non-domiciled commercial driver's license, citing fatal crashes and widespread state compliance issues. Okay. The United States is tightening the rule for obtaining commercial driver's license. More than 5,500 drivers lose their permit immediately. They had already passed school, had already got their permit, and then they were pulled. States targeted by DOT respond to non-domicile CDL freeze. All right, we have South Dakota, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Washington, Texas. Texas is one that kind of shocked me a little bit, and California. So, California at this point is basically doing nothing. And, they're just arguing the point. Now, Florida sues California over the trucking license for illegal immigrants after a fatal crash. They sued them. It's in the Supreme Court. Basically, they're asking the Supreme Court to pull California's ability to issue CDL licenses to aliens, and that's what they're doing. Now, here's something on the economy that was a little bit shocking come through. UPS stuns Wall Street with strong profit and a 34,000 job cuts right before Christmas. Amazon to lay off 30,000 as a cost pressure mount. Okay. So, yeah. Blood on the highway. This is what we're talking about. I believe Mr. Roman's here. I got Roman in here. Hang on. Hey, Roman, how you doing, brother?
Good, good. Can you hear me?
Yep, got you. Hope everybody else can hear him okay. So we're going to be talking about this tonight. You're going to be on here with me as these things play through. How was the day today, man?
I just wrapped up a 12-hour day.
It was a rainy day. Nasty. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So kind of a serious note tonight. I'm going to pull this off here for a minute. So what are you seeing out there as far as the now, if you don't know, Rome's long-term friend, he and I ran containers together. We run with Averitt Express together with a local P&D. And so short story long, Rome's got, he's part of the 1% club, been doing this over a decade. And yeah, so what are you seeing out there in the container industry, man?
Slow.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty slow right now for us.
This is normally a kind of a busy time.
It is, yeah, but not now. We've actually been helping out other yard terminals because there isn't much going on here. And our biggest account has nothing going on at all. It's just dead.
Wow.
The Celanese account, remember that?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, did China stop smoking or what? That's where all that stuff was going before.
Man, I have no idea.
I mean, that stuff was cigarette packing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If I remember
Yeah. Well,
right.
what
Yeah.
they use to make filters.
Filters, right?
Yep.
Right. Okay. So what we're going to do tonight, Rome, is I've got just clips. I want to play the clips, let everybody listen to them, and then get reaction from both. On each clip, guys, as we do these, we're going to have a little talk period after the clips. So if you have anything to say about it, your comments about it, go ahead and post them, and Mila will put them up there. All right, so here's your first clip. Let's see what we got.
Of Homeland Security posting disturbing video of a semi-truck as it slammed into multiple vehicles on a California highway. Authorities say the man behind the wheel, 21-year-old Jashanpreet Singh, pleaded not guilty to vehicular manslaughter while driving under the influence. Police say his big rig slammed into traffic at high speed, sparking an 8-car chain reaction crash, killing 3 people. Among the victims, a Pomona High School basketball coach and his wife. Homeland Security officials say Singh was in the U.S. illegally, crossing the southern border in 2022 and released into the country by the Biden administration, though the California DMV says they were told he had legal status. And it follows another deadly crash in Florida, where authorities say this big rig made a reckless U-turn, causing a collision with a van. 3 people were killed. Driver Harjinder Singh was also in the U.S. illegally, according to DHS, and faces 3 counts of vehicular homicide. He's pleaded not guilty. The Florida Attorney General says Singh failed his driving test 10 times in 2 months, but eventually got a California commercial driver's license. Florida officials say he could only answer 2 of 12 verbal questions correctly. The Trump administration now investigating.
If you can't understand English, you can't understand road signs, how in the heck can you ever pass a test to be issued a commercial driver's license? You can't do it but for fraud.
Meanwhile, we know Florida is asking the Supreme Court to stop California and Washington State from issuing commercial driver's licenses to people thought to be in the U.S. illegally.
Yeah, Rome. So what you think, man?
Who would have known we had these many illegals on our roads?
And
You know,
people wonder why the prices for the freight still slamming the floor when they's paying these illegals 20 cents a mile to run this stuff.
When this whole thing started with the immigration stuff, I would have never thought in a million years we'd see this kind of effect in our industry, you know. But it's out there, and I mean, we're talking hundreds. Just in Oklahoma, they ran like a blitz trying to find these illegals, and not necessarily illegal, but people, even if you can't read and write the language, to get them off the road. And I think there was about 100 in just like a day or two.
Yeah, like 139.
And just a handful of days. I mean,
it was crazy. And you know, my question is, and it still hasn't come out, and I don't know why it hasn't come out, but this latest guy, the illegal, the latest one, this guy, even after the mandate came down that said if you're an illegal alien, you can't have a CDL, he's still on the road. There was still a company which is yet to be it's not been named yet, that was running this guy.
Yeah.
So
well, the state was also they allowed his CDL to be upgraded.
Right.
During that period where Duffy just announced where they were, putting a hold on all of it.
Yeah.
But California, of course, let it seep through, and
this goes to another question here is if you're here and you can't read or write the language or speak the language, should you have any driver's license?
If you can't read or write the language,
right.
No driver's license, yet alone a CDL traveling the country,
right,
coast to coast, border to border. I mean, it's craziness.
Does anybody have a comment on this? All right, 120K.
There you go. That's a great comment.
Yeah, 120,000 undocumented aliens are on the road. Expected that number to be higher.
Yeah, who would have thought, though? I would have never guessed that, because you assume companies are doing what they're supposed to do, and you assume states are doing what they're supposed to do.
Right.
They're
obviously
not.
We
wrong.
Obviously
boy,
not.
were we wrong. Yeah,
so,
I mean, it's crazy out here.
Yeah. So where do you go? Where do you go for that? And how do we deal with the current situation? I think Duffy is doing a pretty good job at it.
Yeah.
But the question is, how long is this going to continue before people get bored? And how long will it be before the administration changes and we get another liberal Yahoo in there that, hang on one second. Sorry about that. I've got an ear problem. It doesn't want this earpiece, but I couldn't hear you last time. So we put the earpiece in. I hear you fine now.
Yeah, I hear you fine too.
Okay. So any other comments that we need to deal with? Okay. So we're going to go to the next.
Wait a minute. You were talking about what do we do? I agree with you that Duffy's he's taking the right steps. And if I'm being honest, I think even Duffy himself was probably overwhelmed by the fact that, like that guy, the last comment just said, so many illegals are out here. I think it even hit them by surprise that they're sort of.
Well, you expect
they're moving in the right direction.
Doing the right thing, though.
You do, yeah.
But then you also have bad actors within that system. You remember all those people that were selling CDLs? So this problem is systemic. And
Yeah. So Duffy's doing the right thing. We're moving in the right direction. And I think that this is something that is they're gonna institutionalize these policies. So it doesn't even matter. I think the people, the general consensus of the illegal immigration policies and the way it's being pursued, or I think people are with it. They're okay with it. I would find it hard for I mean, you'd have to be a uber liberal to get in and reverse this stuff, which I think people just wouldn't really take to. So I think the policies we're going to get and we're seeing, I think they're here to stay for the most part.
All right, so we're going to run down to clip number 2 if there's nothing else. And
the truck driver accused of causing a fiery crash on the 10 freeway in Ontario has pleaded not guilty to all charges filed against him this morning.
3 people were killed, including a Pomona High School coach and his wife. Rachel Menitoff joining us live from the News Center tonight with more on today's developments. Rachel?
Rick, Cher, good evening to you both. We're learning more tonight about the victims, the other drivers on the road that day. Besides the 3 people killed, 4 were injured, including a mother of 4. She was leaving work on her way to pick up her daughter from school. She's now undergoing multiple surgeries and has a very long road ahead of her. 21-year-old Jashanpreet Singh in a Rancho Cucamonga courtroom Friday. With his attorney and a translator by his side, he pleaded not guilty to vehicular manslaughter and DUI charges. A judge ultimately denied his bail after prosecutors argued he may be a flight risk. The Department of Homeland Security says Singh is from India, that he entered the U.S. illegally in 2022 and was, quote, released into the country by the Biden administration. Singh was allegedly driving a semi-truck under the influence. Dashcam video shows the moment he apparently plowed into traffic, causing a gruesome, fiery pileup on the 10 West in Ontario earlier this week. The crash shut down the freeway for hours, and eyewitnesses say the truck driver never braked. 3 people were killed, including beloved high school basketball coach Clarence Nelson and his wife, Lisa. Nelson was a former assistant basketball coach at Pomona High School and was most recently working at Rancho Cucamonga High.
Man, did you see that car? There wasn't anything left of that thing. Now, my question here is, he pleads not guilty.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Really? I don't know what's happened. Everything else nothing's changed, man. We've stayed the same. Am I on mute? I don't know. Can you hear me now? I don't know. You've lost.
I think you're
audio.
muted.
No, I'm not muted. Am I muted? No, she's got me. Everybody's got me. But and look at your stuff. Text him and tell him to look at his stuff. So long story short, this guy, he, can you hear me? Wrong. No, everything's here. Yes, everybody hears us. So don't know what happened to him, but we'll come back to him if we can. So this guy pleads not guilty. It takes a translator to get him through court. They're still not doing anything about, the company that was driving, or the company that had hired this guy and kept him on the road without being able to speak English. And then he's on drugs. So, all right. So we're trying to get Roman back here, but in the meantime, we're going to hit this one real quick.
8 members of the same family were killed in that fiery wreck on I-85 yesterday.
The tragic crash happened in Jackson County Monday. Fox 5's Denise Dillon is live at the news desk. Denise, you've been able to find out more about what happened.
Yeah, that family that included adults and children were in their van when it was hit by a tractor trailer. The van burst into flames, and tonight a family is grieving, and that driver is in jail.
it's definitely the worst that I have seen in my years of doing this. So.
A devastating chain reaction crash Monday afternoon involving 6 vehicles on I-85 in Jackson County. The Georgia State Patrol initially said 7 people in one van were killed. Later, an 8th body was discovered.
Once we were able to move the vehicle that all the victims was in, we were at that point in time able to locate the 8th victim in the vehicle.
Inside that van, 5 children, the youngest around 2, and 3 adults, one of whom may have been pregnant.
The family has indicated to me that one of the victims was pregnant.
State troopers say the family's van burst into flames when it was rear-ended by a tractor trailer. The driver of that truck, 33-year-old Kane Hammock of Gainesville. He's in the Jackson County Jail charged with 8 counts of homicide by vehicle, 1 count of feticide by vehicle, along with some other traffic violations. Deputy Coroner Jeff Rogers spent the day meeting with family members.
This is very tough for them, for the loss. And you're talking about an entire family. We're working as quickly as we can to get them released back to their families so that they can have closure.
The National Transportation Safety Board, in coordination with the Georgia State Patrol, has opened a safety investigation into the fatal crash.
Think about this. 8 family members and an unborn child was killed on this. Now, this guy's an American. He was an owner-operator. I don't know who he was leased to, but he was an owner-operator. He's an American, and you had 8 people in one family and unborn child killed in one crash. I wanted to just touch on this one just for a second, because whether you're running 80,000 pounds down the road in a semi or 40,000, 48,000, 43,000 down the road in a Hotshot, you hit somebody like that, you're going to kill them. I mean, there's no. Would you agree?
Yeah,
we've seen it. And
well, I'm happy you brought this up too, because there's commentary that Americans kill people too in big rigs, and
right.
So it's good that you brought this up, because it's not just about illegals and speaking English. I mean, there's that's a part of the problem in the industry, but there's also a fundamental issue of the way we get in the industry it's too easy. It's like it needs to be harder to get in here. This has to be taken seriously. This isn't just driving. You go to your rinky-dink school with a gravel lot, and you do 100 hours of classroom. What is it? 3 hours of road testing or something. And
but
bam,
you and I talked about this last week, and these schools are now just teaching the test. Just teaching what's on the test, and that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I want to know if the federal government is going to step in with that and make it harder. Maybe not make it harder with anything other than, instead of having 4 tests to teach, have 100 tests to teach and cover the spectrum.
Yeah.
That way you have to know it all. When I went through school, I didn't know what was going to be on the test. You had to know the stuff, because if you didn't know it, you didn't know it. And especially on that pre-trip, man.
Oh yeah.
You've got to know that stuff. But
you had to touch the parts.
That's right. Touch it, describe it, or name it and describe what it does. That's what I had to do. You too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't pass that. It's just like Duffy said in that first scenario. This is criminal. That these 2 boys didn't pass that test. So just like that lady in New York or Ohio. Where was that? Where the lady was going in taking tests for those drivers, disguised herself.
Where was that?
Is that in Pennsylvania? Somewhere.
It might have been.
Philadelphia, I think. Yeah. So wherever it was, we have all this criminal activity going on, and people think, oh, it's just helping a brother out, so to speak. But it's
No,
more than
absolutely
that.
not.
You're
Yeah.
putting somebody that don't know what the hell they're doing in an 80,000-pound weapon and steering them down the road. And that's the problem with the whole system right now. It's great that they require going to school, but then they tell them what's going to be on one of the four, on the four tests. And what's the use? You're going to test what, or you're going to teach what's on those four tests. So, no, they've got
And
to do something.
the schools themselves are a lot of them aren't even. How do you even regulate what they're? It's just a literal lot, what a porta-john and a tent, and that's the actual school. Like, what are they doing over there? They're supposed to be doing these things, but as we've seen, there's a lot of regulations in this industry that we're supposed to be doing it. A lot of them aren't being complied with. So
here's a comment right here. It says the schools are a scam. 10 people waiting on their turn to practice is not training. 160 hours, real 3 hours behind the wheel.
Yeah.
There you go.
And isn't one of them's at night too? Don't you have to do 1 hour at night or something like that?
I don't know.
Maybe somebody can comment on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not. Come on, that's what's required to get us a CDL.
Right. And
that's
I mean, it's a little better than just taking the test like it used to be, but not much. You just have to pay somebody now, $5 or $10 grand to go do it. Okay. Yeah. All right, Rome. I'm going to hit you right here real quick. So we try. Hopefully, we don't lose your audio again. But here we go. We're going to hit this one. Nope. I'm so sorry. We just did that one. Let's do this.
It could soon lose more than $100 million in federal transportation money. This is related to how California issues commercial driver's licenses. KCRA 3's Andrea Flores joins us now with the latest.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says he'll pull $160 million from California because the state is issuing commercial driver's licenses to non-citizens. Speaking on Fox News yesterday, Duffy said Governor Newsom has refused to comply with rules requiring the state to stop issuing those licenses and review those already issued. Now, this comes after a Yuba City big rig driver was arrested for DUI, accused of plowing into stop traffic and killing 3 people in Southern California. Jashanpreet Singh pleaded not guilty in court last week. He was seeking asylum in the U.S. Now, in what the Trump administration is calling a bombshell report, they say the whole thing could have been prevented had California followed the law. The DOT claims the state upgraded his license on October 15th, just 6 days before the crash. In a statement to KCRA 3 today, the DMV claims it is in compliance with those regulations and says the Department of Transportation has no legitimate basis to withhold that money. Lisa?
What do you think?
So I couldn't hear it, but I could see the audio about them pulling money. DOT pulling money from California.
Yeah.
And then California, of course, saying, well, we're complying with law.
Yeah. They're not complying.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's right there.
They're there.
The timeline's right there.
So I don't know what Newsom's doing at this point. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. I can't imagine him going to run for president the next time around and then try to run on this record.
Yeah, well, that's the problem here. I mean, to answer that question, you got to get a little political here. Newsom, I think, is just trying to take a fight to the administration. And this is that we're going to stand. Like, oh, my God, is it the wrong fight? Yeah. It absolutely is, but it's a fight that, I'm gonna stand my ground. I'm the governor. I'm gonna, it's political for him. But the fact of the matter is, California is not following the rules. The timeline's right there.
Yeah.
Again, another avoidable tragedy.
3 deaths. Yeah. I mean, that there was no sense in it. Yeah. My question is, are they going to federalize this CDL? But it should be federalized. I mean, well, maybe not federalized, but
Not federalized.
the rules have to be. There are regulations for this.
Yes.
For the states to follow, and they're just not doing it. So do you take that ability away from California altogether? Just say you're not allowed to do it. I think so.
I think that's the next step.
If you're not going to play by the rules, you can't play the game. So, let them run just in California, but you still have Americans there. You had 3 of them die right there. Well, yeah. So what is, we have comments? All right. New York State CDL have no name. I saw that. No name undocumented driver. That driver's license, did you see it? It said no name given. That was what was on the driver's license.
On his CDL.
Yes. No name given. That's what it said. No name given. So, I mean,
I didn't know you complete the 5th on your driver's license for CDL.
No name given. Yeah, it's crazy.
But I mean, it's fun. Well, it's not funny, but this is the reality we're dealing with. These states. I mean, like, wow, they're just so laxed on these things, and we're finding all this out.
Yeah, and it means so much when you put an unqualified driver that can't read a road sign on the road. Yeah, and guys, people out there in America, your family, this isn't about immigration.
Yeah.
This is about safety. Your family, your mom, your dad, your daughter, son, granddaughter, grandchild are running down the road beside these people. If they get around them and go on, they're lucky because you don't know what they're going to do. You see that. So, yeah. All right. So this next one's a little bit long, but it's good. And I want you guys to see this real quick. Hang on.
The arrest of a truck driver after a fatal crash in Southern California is sparking new debate over illegal immigration.
On Thursday, authorities arrested a 21-year-old man in connection with the crash that killed 3 people and injured 4 others. He faces 3 counts of vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated and driving under the influence. According to the Department of Homeland Security, the man did possess a valid California license, but was living in the U.S. illegally. DHS writes on X, ICE lodged an arrest detainer for Jashan Preet Singh, a criminal illegal alien from India who took the lives of 3 individuals in a horrific DUI accident in San Bernardino County, California. Singh first entered the U.S. in 2022 through the southern border and was released into the country under the Biden administration.
Now, this comes after the U.S. Transportation Department recently put in place new rules that greatly restrict the ability of non-citizens to obtain commercial driver's licenses. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has already accused the state of California of not following those rules.
California was given 30 days to comply with the order or risk losing federal funding. Now, in light of this week's crash, Duffy writes on X, unacceptable. Lives have been lost over California's failure to enforce my new rules for obtaining licenses to operate trucks. California Governor Gavin Newsom must put politics aside and enforce these common sense rules to prevent any more tragic deaths on American roads.
Now, Governor Newsom did provide a response accusing the Trump administration of politicizing the tragedy. In a statement to Fox News, Newsom says, quote, "This is a tragic situation. And as with every tragedy over the last 10 months, Secretary Noem has ordered Secretary Duffy to look for every opportunity to manipulate the facts to score cheap political points. But the federal government needs to look within before they cast blame outside." The federal government approved and renewed this individual's federal employment authorization multiple times, which allowed him to obtain a commercial driver's license in accordance with federal law.
All right, so this is actually the third high-profile incident that we've had in a matter of months involving illegal immigrants driving big rigs and killing people. The first one was in Florida, where an individual who had failed his commercial driver's license test 10 times in 2 months ended up receiving his license in 2023 in Washington, was able to earn a second CDL in California, apparently could not speak English, had failed an English language test. He was pulled over in New Mexico a month prior to the crash and could not really communicate with the officers, yet went on to make an illegal U-turn, which killed a family. Later on, October 15th in Indiana, a man who was a legal visa overstayed his visa in 2011, killed a man while driving with a suspended CDL from a family member that was obtained in Illinois, and then now this case in California. The guidance that Sean Duffy had issued in, I believe it was in September, which prohibited illegal immigrants from possessing CDLs, also required states to revoke CDLs from illegal immigrants, not just not issue new ones, but actually take away the ones that had previously been granted. Gavin Newsom failed to do that. Now we have 3 more people dead.
Yeah, I think Gavin Newsom's response right here was not the right one. I do think that it's important to point out when a tragedy strikes, and I think that most of America's on board with the same message that if you do any criminal acts, and that could be any step of the way, right? So this is a terrible, horrific tragedy. Hopefully that's not the act that you commit that gets you thrown out of the country, but most migrants that do anything, like even driving without the proper license, you said one of them was using their family member's license. Right. Not appropriate, right? I think, and he had multiple incidents. I read in 2018, that same guy had an incident for resisting arrest in Long Island prior to that. Yep. So if you are a migrant that's coming here for a better life or what have you, you cannot be here also breaking the law. I think most Americans agree on that and just don't agree with some of the other policies that are getting tied and roped into this about how the Trump administration is handling migrants in the U.S. and how people who have lived here for years, or when we watch video from Chicago of parents dropping their kids off at school and then ICE is putting them under arrest outside of the school or within reason of, where their child might see. I think that those are the incidents people are talking about when farm workers are scared to go to work into factories. But Gavin Newsom should just condemn this and say this is exactly what it is and separate this from the majority of migrants that come here, both illegal and legally, that commit less crime than American-born citizens. And we understand that fact. Obviously, there are way more American citizens, but I'm just saying, like, majority of migrants that come here are not criminals. And I think we have to make sure that we're differentiating and not, and President Trump's jargon is constantly reminding people, especially on the campaign trail, that they're drug dealers, murderers. And it's like, that's not all migrants. There are workers here. There are people who lived here for 20 years trying to build families that are contributing to the growth of our country and our nation. I think we have to remember that the majority are not doing bad things. But this incident was bad and should be condemned as such and should not be blamed back and forth on Biden or Trump. I think it's the wrong moment to try to figure out who to blame and just try to figure out how to avoid this ever happening again. And I don't know if that's throwing everybody out, because multiple people agree that there are multiple ways to handle migration, but certainly we can agree that Joe Biden was not handling it properly, which is why most of the country turned on him on that issue.
So there you go. And I thought that was very well said. I think Newsom's on the wrong side of this with the trucking situation. What do you think, Ron?
Yeah, but that's what I was saying a little before. It's just he's on the wrong side, absolutely. But he's the one being a little political with it. I think this is just a policy they're trying to implement, and they're implementing it, and he's sort of wanting to play the blame game here. And I believe when Duffy said the rule, I know Newsom says, well, that they approved it through the system, but that's sort of the whole point of like stopping all of those licenses, wasn't it? So they can sort of navigate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they can navigate it. And so that's what the pause was for. But
the other thing is approving a work permit doesn't approve a CDL.
Yeah.
I mean, just because you have a work permit doesn't say you get a CDL. As a matter of fact, that rule said it's going to be revoked. If that's what you do, it's revoked. You're going to have to go do something else.
Which under his case, he was seeking asylum.
Right. So he wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah.
Right. So that's another asylum seekers do not qualify for a CDL. under the new rule. So now, if everybody out there really wants to know what it's like for a state trooper to pull over a driver that cannot speak English, I'm going to show you a little piece of this, and then we'll move on. Hang on one second.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm good.
Why are you parked here?
Yeah, I parked here 3 hours.
Why did you park here? You understand English?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Why did you park here?
Yeah.
No good. I'm Officer Eddings, Arkansas Highway Police. I need your driver's license, registration, and insurance for this truck. Is there anybody else in the truck?
Well,
Is there anybody else in the truck?
my company.
Your company. Okay, you don't understand English.
Yeah.
Where's your logbook at?
Yes, sir.
Put you some clothes on. Pants. Put your pants on.
Pants on? What?
Put your pants on. Pants. Put some pants on.
Yeah, okay.
You don't understand English.
Okay.
What company do you work for?
The company, California.
Your company's called California?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't understand me. Okay. All right. All right. You see this sign?
Yeah, truck. Over.
What's that sign say?
Things must enter, right?
Do you tell me? What does it say?
Yeah,
I need you to read that sign.
Yeah, with station. Next red.
Okay, read it again.
Read again.
Read it again.
Oh, trucks. Over 10. Must enter way station next, right?
What is this word?
Tense.
Tense? No.
No?
No. What is it? What does that sign mean?
What's that mean? 10 things.
What does this sign mean?
Master enter. Master. With station.
Okay, so if you see this sign, what do you do?
Yeah, driver going. Yeah, driver going. Must.
Go where?
With station.
All trucks go? Or what's it say? What kind of trucks have to go to the way station?
Way station. I don't know. Over 10.
Over 10 what?
Over 10 what?
Okay. All right, let's try another one. You don't get that one. All right, let's go down here and try another one. Let's see. Read that sign to me.
No parking.
What does that mean?
Yeah, here, no parking.
What does it mean when it says no parking?
I don't know. Yeah, no billboard, no parking. Maybe Arkansas exit, no parking.
Okay. So when you see this sign, what do you do?
No parking. What do you do? No parking.
Okay. Does that mean you can park your truck there?
Yeah. No parking. Yeah. I called my friend. My friend.
Read this sign to me.
Yeah. Because because no coming call.
What does that mean? That sign, read it to me.
What's me?
Okay.
No coming call.
All right, one more.
Guys, that's painful. I mean, and again, this has nothing to do. He seems like a fine human being. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with him as a person or a human being. I have a problem with the safety issue he causes, not being able to read a road sign. These are simple things. And if you can't make that happen, you don't need to be on the road. That's my point.
And once again, California.
Another California company. That is correct. So, yeah. So let's talk about it a minute. I'm going to talk about this a minute. I have some questions real quick. Should people, and I want your questions, you guys can put them up here on stage or you can put them down below. But should people who enter the U.S. illegally ever be allowed to hold a commercial driver's license? Yes or no? I am saying no.
I say no.
Yeah.
Can't even have a normal driver's license.
Yeah, you shouldn't. If you're here illegally, you shouldn't be entitled to anything. Nothing.
No job. Yeah.
Nothing. If a driver can't read or understand English road signs, who's responsible when tragedy strikes? Is it the driver, the state that issued him the license, or the federal government? I'm going with the state.
Yeah, I would have. Now, if you asked me this a year ago, I would have said the federal government.
Right.
But given all that we know now, that every day something new's coming up, absolutely the states.
Right. Next question for you guys to ponder on is, do you think states like California should lose federal highway funding for issuing CDLs to non-citizens? Yes. They should lose that. They should lose the funding. They should lose the ability to issue CDLs, period, whether it's intrastate or interstate.
Yeah.
They should not be able to do that. That is my opinion.
I
What do
agree
you
with
think,
that.
Rome? Yeah.
I agree 100%. That's the first step, is the funding. I think that worked for most states, because remember when the first Sing guy,
Yeah.
New Mexico, and there was some others that were sort of trying to play hardball. Duffy threatened the funding. As far as I know, they're complying. California seems to be the issue because they have the governor that's running for president. So that's the state that wants to play hardball. But as far as I know, this is really seems to be, at this point, California versus the federal government, not so much
Right.
states. Anything we see on a state level now is just like a genuine accident. Like, oh, we as we're investigating, as we're following these policies, we're finding these things out,
Right.
and they're addressing them.
Yeah, California is putting a big FU to the federal government just to make a scene, basically.
Yes, because
Well, there's
Trump.
a reason behind it, but yeah,
it's Trump derangement syndrome.
All
It
right,
really
so
is.
Again, this is about is this about immigration? Do you guys think this is about immigration, or is it about safety? And I preach safety. I'm on safety all the time. But the question is, to the general public, whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, doesn't matter. Do you think this is about immigration? Or do you think this is about safety? I would say this. I am all about legal immigration. I am all about somebody coming here legally, getting their citizenship or their work visa through the right. And I've known several people that do this. And if they want, getting their citizenship. I'm not about illegal crossing of the border, screaming, I want asylum, and being let in the country and then working in this industry. I'm not about that at all. And if you look, what's happening is this is a conspiracy. These guys have found a loophole, and now they're exploiting the loophole. They have absolutely ripped the ass off of our industry. This is why rates are down. This is why, we're having these massive crashes. So my question's going to be out there tonight is this about immigration or about safety to you? What is your thoughts? Okay. Have you ever shared the road with a driver you knew shouldn't be behind the wheel? Rome.
Absolutely.
I have too. I've seen some drivers that you had to question.
Absolutely.
What the hell? But yeah, I've seen it. And let me tell you something. I tell people now, you see something, you say something. You don't let this stuff go. It's not safe out there for your family as long as these things are going on. Where my pet peeve is when I see a flatbed with a load securement issue. If I cannot somehow get hold of this driver's attention to let him know he's got an issue, I would try that first. If not, if there's no way to do that, I would absolutely call the police because somebody is going to die.
Yeah, you can't have the attitude of, well, it's it's his load. Why you let him do it how he wants? No, that's not the
we have
attitude to have.
regulations for that.
Yeah,
and the question is how many people died to get a regulation?
Yeah, seriously.
If it's going to be a government daughter.
Yeah, right. If it'll be a congressman's daughter, Mila's over here doing her neck. All right, let's see. Should the FMCSA take control of CDL testing, or should they take control of CDL testing away from the states? I would say no. I don't believe they should. I think the states have regulations. I think the FMCSA, I think the setup is okay, but the FMCSA should have a lot more audits going on of these states' files.
Yeah,
they are the governing body. They should be inspecting what these states are doing. And, at one point on the Facebook page over there, I was getting rid, and it doesn't dawn on you while it's going on. I'm just thinking it's a scam. But on the daily, I was declining posts about, do you need a CDL? Contact me. And this is what was going on. I do.
I remember that.
Every freaking day that was coming up.
And this is it. This is what they're doing.
This is what they were doing.
Scamming. It's a whole
network.
There's like, who would have thought there was a whole underground market, black market for this in this industry?
I know.
I mean, who would have thought that?
So here you go. I think this is the last. Would you trust your family on the road knowing these drivers are out there? And they're still out there, people. It's not like they've cleared them all out. They're there. And I fear for my family being on the road because, those people out in California were just sitting in traffic. That's all that was going on. They were sitting in traffic. This guy was allegedly high on drugs, and, he wiped 3 of them right off the face of the earth. So the answer is no, I don't. And now that I've got a son that's 16, that's getting ready to be out there on his own, it really worries me. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. What do you think, Ron?
No, I agree. I got a daughter, 15, going to be driving soon too.
Mm-hmm.
This is, but I guess to wrap it up, it's we have awareness now, which is good, and we have a government or an administration that's taking action on it, and whether it's through the guides of immigration, and that's the what got it going, then that it is what it is. But we're fixing it. It's going to take time though, because we always knew the industry was a mess, but good Lord.
You didn't know it was this a mess, right?
We didn't know it was this messy. Yeah. It's nuts out there, but we are in the first step of actually, addressing it. So,
well, how do you fix a system that values politics over safety?
Man,
I
don't know how to answer that because everything is politics now.
I know.
I would have said if we were because we're 4 years from the election, but yet you have a governor who started his campaign basically, and he's using this issue as a campaign issue.
What a
and can I just say
issue.
something since
Absolutely.
we're talking about politics real quick? This issue, I guarantee you, mark the date, mark the time. If Gavin Newsom is the nominee, he wins the nomination for the Democratic Party, everything we're talking about here will be playing on loop over and over and over. This will be the Kamala and the prisoner sex change thing.
Yeah.
You remember that? How that played on loop? It's going to be that. All of this is going to be playing on loop over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Here's the last question of the night. What is your solution, Roman? Do you ban them? Do you reform them? Or do you retain them? Oh, he didn't even want to answer that question. So, hey, are you there? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, Lord.
You can't hear anything. Remove him, please. So,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hold on.
So, the question is, do you ban them? I think you ban them. You can't reform drivers that are that can't speak the language. Do you put them in school? Do you retrain them? I don't know. My suggestion would be just to ban them and move on from there. It's just not going to be anything else. And until we get these people off the road right now, there's not going to be any hope for any of it. Okay. Let's see if we got Roman back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry
yeah, you're back. That's all right. So my suggestion was just to get them off the road, get them out of here. And, we may have to do some kind of constitutional amendment with, and I don't do a lot of politics, but there's two things that really bother me. And that is the run across the border and dropping a baby, and then getting them on government welfare, basically. And then this crossing the line, screaming asylum, and letting them go.
The asylum thing's really been abused, man. I mean,
they know what to say.
Yeah, it's that's been abused. You mean, I'm crossing the country, and what's your claim? I'm gonna get beat up by some gang.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on.
Mila says, Mila just whispered over here, Americans are too nice. If you take off and go to Russia, they'll put you on the front line of Ukraine.
Seriously.
That one
Well,
guy
before the war, they deport you, but now they need you. So
now
you're
they
going to
need
the
you.
front.
So this whole thing is just a scam, I think.
It is.
And there's so much fraud going on that it's killing the industry as a whole. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Do we got any comments, concerns, questions, anything like that? Nothing. Okay. Well, Rome, I appreciate you coming, and
Yes,
I know these are your topics of delight.
No, yeah.
But listen, if you guys need anything, reach out. Roman and I will definitely, be around us to try to help you out, and love your family, because that's all you got, man. So, and protect them. If you see something, please say something. Okay. This is our house. Mila said, this is our house. We got to keep it clean. So
That's
it's
right.
our responsibility to keep it clean. And if you love this industry, like we love this industry, please say something. This is Bryan and Roman and Mila. So we're all here tonight. We appreciate you coming. Let me say hey to everybody. All right. I didn't get to say, so trucking ugly. Glad you're here, man. We got Trevor F. We got AZOK4. We got, now they're chalking. We got Joe in the house. There's my brother from another mother. We got Ashford in the house. Michael's in. Team Golden's in. I'm just trying to skip over. They're having a conversation in here. We got Hawks from USMC. John Doe. Man, we got a house full tonight. Lord. And good deal, man. We truly appreciate everybody coming. Thank you so much for being here. Roman, thank you for being here, buddy. I appreciate you taking your time and doing it. If you guys need anything, reach out. We'll answer the phone. Have a great weekend. Have a great night. See you.
I'm dirty jeans and a 4x4, cruising down to your front door. I'm a postage pack and a whiskey neat, some dive bar right up the street. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, go with me, riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a western swing on an old jukebox, a tailgate party in the parking lot. I'm rowdy rough, big and grown, I get it done all on my own. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, and go with me, riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a cowboy hat, a ripped up shirt, tractor pulling out in the dirt. Hot cup of coffee with a cigarette, pretty little thing sitting on my hip. I'm a good old boy and a